Welcome. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Portia Malcolm.
Hello. How are you doing? I tell you.
Just breathe.
No, my hands are cold. Oh, thank you. What is it made of?
It's made of 100% raw organic peanut.
So this is your body?
Hand and body moisturizer.
And how much is this?
And that's $25.
I like the smell.
Like the smell?
It's not strong.
And it hydrates very well.
Yeah?
Yes, and it doesn't sit on the skin, it's very right. I used to work for a cosmetic company. I've been into the industry for a while working, and then I just get into doing it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My own setup. We have a full line of face product, facial wash, and these are like we call it a travel size. So it contains all our products. Travel size of it, you know what I mean?
So if you're traveling, does need this?
Exactly.
Some hand and body lotion.
Facial wash and in it.
What's the moisturizing protective cream?
This is right here.
So that's just for your
hydrating your face, yes, good every day.
And then
Like I said,
exfoliation, and then blemish cream. It's just like a face cream.
It's also a moisturizer, but that's one that helps with the uneven skin tone.
And what's in the middle here?
That's bar soap.
For bath or big for your face?
If you want to do it, it's your choice.
So how much is this?
It's $400 for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Each one of these are $50.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And like I said, one of these is $25. So you get in two creams, one hand and body moisturizer, a lip balm, a facial scrub, $400.
I like that it's soft.
Yeah, it's
The
soft.
smell.
And you know if your hand is not greasy.
Listen close, I got a story to tell about the queen inside you. You know her well, she's fierce and she's bold, with the heart of gold.
I gotta run.
Just
But
say
it
goodbye.
was nice talking to you. What's your name?
Portia.
Portia, nice
and
to
it's
meet you.
Marsha, right?
Marsha.
Yes,
Nice to
and you're beautiful.
Thank you. I'm
All
on the
right.
show, so come and see the show.
Oh, you are? All right. We are here at the Black History Month celebration presented by the City of Brampton, and it promises to be good. We have vendors out right here. There we go.
Her veins, she carries stories untold. Every step she takes, she owns the ground in her eyes. You see the fire.
United Achievers give a scholarship every year to students that live in the Mississauga, Brampton area. Dr. Weeks gives out one. Sterling Dental gives out one. I think the police gives out one. And then United Achievers, they give one. And I forget the other company that does it. It's not the Rotary Club, it's somebody else. But anyway, another company join up with them for the scholarship. And based on all West Indian kids or black, coming from black parents, I think that they have it in September, October.
September, October.
Yeah, right.
Back to school.
Yeah.
Yes.
For students that are accepted to university or colleges or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the form comes out to the high schools. I think most of the high schools have the form for them to sign up and apply for the scholarship. And either they get it or they don't get it.
Yes.
And it depends on how many people they have, and it depends on the amount of scholarships.
That are available. The experience with
my son got a scholarship now he's 41, right? In 19 something he got a scholarship for United Achievers to go to Humber College to do accounting. Yeah.
Yes.
He was happy about it. They do it every single year. They nominate kids to get a scholarship.
Yeah, that's really nice. You're in Brampton City.
Yeah.
What are the things that you say that we are doing in our community that really help to uplift other than the scholarship? What else do you see that we can talk about?
They have a mentorship program too.
That's good.
And I think they have like a breakfast program too. United Achievers have one where I think they give kids breakfast, and they have like a housing system My friend knows more about it because she's a part of it. Just know by having the program every single year. Night Achievement, I think, is one of the best.
One of the best ones.
Yeah, and then they have the Black Women of Congress. They gave us scholarships too, and so many other people give us scholarships. But those are the two I know that give us a scholarship every year. And some of those young people, they go to college and they come back and they help with the organization too, right? Some of them volunteer afterwards to teach kids and stuff like that.
So it's like a ripple.
Ripple effect, yeah.
Yes.
Because some of the students come back and devote their time.
Give back
to the community.
Because they have been given too.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you hear it from a citizen. The crowd is here and we are getting our tickets to go in. They open at 5 and persons are getting their ticket and they are going to go and shop right now to look around what the vendors have, and then at 7 they'll be going to take their seat in the theater. So this has been a great experience so far.
My name's Ray, and my background is of West Indian heritage, hailing from the island of Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, and the island of Grenada. I am one of the distant cousins of the late, great actress Cicely Tyson, whose parents hailed from the island of Nevis. Cicely Tyson wasn't born on the island, but her parents was. She was born in New York. However, grew up in a very cultural and traditional West Indian family and surroundings. My grandfather, who is from Kings County, New York, born in 1819, was the brother of one of Cicely Tyson's parents, which would be her mother, Frederica Huggins. So there's history there. She well known in the family. Those of us who didn't know her from the later generation, we were taught about her, and so we're actually grateful to know a lot about her heritage, her background, for which she always acknowledged. So it's nice to see, even now that this generation has come, she has passed on, but we're still watching the movies, we're still reading about her. The Huggins family is a very large family spanning in the Caribbean and also into the United States as well.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care.
Christmas time, it's actually not a bad city. They actually
They go all out. Yes.
have like a Christmas tree.
Root beer mug. No caffeine. All right.
We can have a big photo with this incredible group. And happy Black History Month.
That was pretty cool. At this moment, I'd like to call on Chief Margaret Salt for a few remarks this evening.
Here tonight, and I think it's very beautiful. That you're recognizing your people that make your community. That's so awesome. It's heartfelt to see that. So I'm honored, like I said, to welcome you to this Black History Month celebration here in the city of Brampton, taking place on our traditional territory under Treaty 19 of 1818. So that makes us the treaty holders on there, and I'm thankful that you are taking very good care of our lands for us, and that we have to work together. We're gathered here tonight. Oh, I already said that. I'm way ahead of my notes. So it's a place that is shaped by long-standing relationships and shared responsibilities. And I take my responsibility very seriously as being a chief and to forward ahead for our generations to come. Treaties remind us that our presence here comes with obligations to one another, to the land and to the future generations who will follow. This land has long been a place of meeting, exchange, and relationship. Tonight's gathering continues that tradition by bringing people together to reflect, to celebrate, and to honor stories that have shaped this country. Black History Month is not only about looking back, it is about recognizing living history. It's about acknowledging the leadership, creativity, resilience, and contribution of Black Canadians who have helped build communities, institutions, and movements across this country for hundreds of years. Those stories are not separate from Canada's history. They are central to it. This year's theme of Black legacy and leadership speaks to the responsibility we all share to ensure that this history is fully told and truthfully, and that the future generations see themselves reflected in the nation they inherit. This reminds us that progress happens when people are willing to lead with courage, persistence, and vision, and even when that leadership challenges the status quo. Tonight, we also recognize the lasting impact of trailblazers like the Honourable Dr. Jean Augustine, whose advocacy ensured Black History Month is recognized nationally. Her work is a powerful exchange of how the leadership can create space, not just for recognition, but for lasting change. As Indigenous people, we understand the importance of memory, storytelling, and honoring those who came before us. There are meaningful parallels between our communities in resilience and survival, and in the ongoing work of protecting culture, identity, and voice. When we take time to listen to one another's histories, we strengthen the relationship that move us all forward. I want to thank the City of Brampton, the Equity Office, and the Black Empowerment Unit for organizing this celebration and for their continued commitment to equality, inclusive, and community building. I also want to acknowledge the artists, the performers, and organizers who brought this evening to life. Celebration and cultural expression is one of the most powerful ways we tell our stories, through music, dance, and spoken word. As we enjoy tonight's performances and reflections, I encourage us all to think about how we can carry the spirit of this celebration forward. Beyond this evening, beyond this month, through action, learning, and solidarity. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for celebrating together. Miigwech and enjoy the evening.
And again, a big thank you to Chief Saul Gwen Chapman, Supervisor of the Black Empowerment Unit at the City of Brampton, to share a few words. Gwen, you're up. So earlier, I wanted to give Gwen a shout out. Well, I did, but she didn't hear me because she was running around. She's still talking backstage. Gwen, Ms. Chapman. I was just saying how earlier I wanted to give you a shout out. I tried to give you a shout out, but you were busy running around. So I think it's important to give you your flowers. So I just want to say thank you for all of the work that you do and the passion that you have and you show up with every single day. It's not just 100%, it's like 120%.
True.
And you know, the story of history is the strength and resilience of Black women, and you embody that. And so keep it up, and it's okay to take a vacation, all right?
Good evening. Thank you very much, Bakari. Good evening, everyone. How are you feeling this glorious evening? This is all about celebrating us. I want to make sure that we acknowledge, I acknowledge my father, like I said, who's no longer with me physically, but my dad taught us that we have to look after each other. And so in that vein, I'm hoping that I'm doing the best I can to make him proud.
Amen.
But I know that we, as a community, we have so much talent. There's so much for us to do. We are just starting to take off. Thank you very much, Mayor Brown and Council, for your leadership and all the very special guests that are here. My mentors, I can see Zanina Conde, our amazing, incomparable woman who fought the fight. And people need to know your history. You're not about fanfare, you're about the work and advancing our community. So thank you to the sponsors and all of you for being here and doing your part to make our community, the great community that it was meant to be. So put your hands together for yourselves and the volunteers that have put this together, our communications team, our equity team, and Mayor's office and all of you who've brought this together. So let me just try to be very quick here. I have 8 brothers, and many of you know the struggles that our black men have in this country. One of the things that we want to do is focus on helping to develop, inspire, and empower our men so that they can take their rightful place as leaders, as protectors, as providers, as our inspiration. So this little segment, we just want to insert something special to remind all of us that we've got to continue to support our men. And so this segment is just to inspire us to continue doing what we're doing, and as well, the young men that are trying to make their way in this country. We are not giving up on you. We are here to support you. We will never, ever give up on you. And I want to give a big shout out to, again, Mayor Patrick Brown. Mayor Patrick Brown. I call him Mr. Peacemaker, because whenever we're just squabbling in and out of the city, he's always the person to come in and talk about love and talk about peace. Reminds me a bit of my dad. But thank you so very much, Mayor Brown, because under your leadership, you say, leave them, move out of the way, let the community thrive. We want to break the barriers, and we will continue to do so under your leadership. It's very important, because it's not often that we again have allies. During the civil rights movement, we had allies. We didn't do everything. We didn't conquer. We didn't succeed by ourselves. But it took people who believed in humanity. It took people who saw themselves as a human being. It took people who understand we come from different experiences and different bodies, yes, different races, etc., etc. And that's what makes the world beautiful. We are our brothers and our sisters' keeper. We belong together. And so we're going to work harder to see ourselves in each other and to understand when people are hurting, they will give out negativity and so forth. So we have to be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more forgiving. Let's continue to embrace, because divide and they will conquer. But when we unite, we will achieve all that we were meant to achieve. When we unite, we achieve all that we were meant to be. Let's learn to forgive each other, be that peacemaker like Mayor Brown always talks about and embodies, and let's set this city on fire. And that's how you know God is working through us. And God is in this house. So all of you that are here, you are meant to be here. All of you that are here, you have a responsibility to step up, forgive yourself as well. Forgive yourself as well. And be that king and that queen that you're meant to be. So on fire. We have new graduates. I'm not sure if Mayor Brown mentioned that. But again, this man instrumental in leading the work that we're doing. Fire. We've got 3 or 2. Michelle, come over here. Where's Quickly. We've got new recruits, and under the leadership of Mayor Brown and his council and everybody else, we continue to push to get more black firemen at the city of Brampton. So, how many?
So really quickly, a few years ago, I was asked, how many black people do we have in the fire department? That was in 2020. I held up one hand as 5. And just recently, my colleague and I, we were counting, we have 21 men and women, 2026. Awesome.
Michelle, she's very modest. You've been around as a firewoman.
This is my 30th year.
And she was instrumental behind the truck.
So in 2022, I had this great idea to represent Brampton in celebrating Black History Month to have a fire truck wrapped. My previous division chief, Raphael Chatwell, God rest his soul, he was so supportive of my idea, and with his support, we were able to bring forth a fire truck wrapped in its 4th year for Black History Month.
So thank you very much, Michelle. So the fire guys, I think you guys probably have some competition here. So we would like, Andre, you want to come closer, to call up our awardees, and you know who you are, so if you could make your way to the stage very quickly.
Every time I see a new dance move, I go in front of a mirror and try to do the same thing. But what ended up happening is I look like a penguin. It's not quite the same. So with that being said, it is my honor to present the City of Brampton Black Empowerment Unit for 2026 Award to Bafu Kwasi Obeng Ajay in recognition of his outstanding achievement in dance performance.
Good evening, everybody. How you feeling tonight? Excellent. My name is Matt Small. I'm an inspector with Peel Regional Police. I'm in my 34th year of policing. I'm honored to be asked to present today the City of Brampton's Black Empowerment Unit 2026 Award, presented to Jabari Lindsay for his outstanding professional excellence in community service. Put it together, please, for Jabari.
Okay, I'm going to introduce myself because I'm pretty sure nobody knows who I am here. Deputy Chief Mark Andrews from Peel Regional Police. And it's my honor to present the City of Brampton's Black Empowerment Unit 2026 Award in recognition of outstanding contributions to youth development and athletic achievement. And it's a real honor for me to be able to present this to the individual tonight. I understand how valuable and impactful coaching and mentorship is to young men. Without that mentorship and coaching, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I think that goes for many in the audience, and I know that is true for many of our police officers who are here, some are in the front rows here, that were coached and mentored by involved, committed individuals in our community. And Kevin Dawkins is a perfect example of that. Kevin?
Here to present the City of Brampton's Black Empowerment Unit 2026 Award to Dr. Matthew Weeks in recognition of outstanding contributions to dentistry and philanthropy. Dr. Weeks, are you present? Presenting this to your answer, Arthur, on behalf of Dr. Matthew Weeks. Congratulations.
My name is Captain Retired Kevin Jr. from the Canadian Armed Forces. A number of years ago, I was blessed to see a film on the No. 2 Constructor Battalion, an all-black battalion that, after serving, they weren't recognized by Canada for their service. They had to fight for the right to be able to fight for Canada. I saw that film and it impacted my career. Later on, I was on the National Apology Advisory Committee that advised the Government of Canada on how to apologize to descendants of number 2 construction battalion, which was done by the Prime Minister of Canada on July 9th, 2022. I would like to present the City of Toronto, the City of Brampton's Black Empowerment Unit 2026 Award to Anthony Sherwood for lifetime of impact in film, television, and community service. Anthony was on the National Apology Advisory Committee. Anthony made the film number 2 Construction Battalion. Anthony Sherwood.
To our award recipients. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. My name is Andre Fullerton, for those who don't know, Black Empowerment Unit. Woo woo! Thank you. I've just been told that award recipients, 1 minute, please. Do we want to hear them? Give them a round of applause, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you're good today. It's very unexpected, but I'd like to give a big shout out to my family who have been supporting me. Big shout out to Mr. Manning for opening this opportunity up to me. One thing that I want to leave to you guys is that preserve what you have right now. Teach those below you your culture, preserve their culture through any avenue, because I'm lucky enough to have my culture and know where I'm from. Some of us are not. We have to keep supporting each other, building the community so that we all can unite as one. Really. Thank you guys so much.
Good evening, everybody. Very good, very good, very good. Oh, you made it in. My son was wandering around outside and I needed him to see this. So I got a minute. Let me tell you the story. When I was 15 years old, I'm a child of Brampton. I grew up near, I went to St. Augustine, went to St. Bridget. Yep, grew outside of, we're gonna talk about Brampton, all these visitors of Brampton, you guys just got here. So, you remember when Brampton trams used to be an hour to get somewhere, you just sit in the back of the truck? Yeah, we're gonna talk about Brampton. So, when I was 15 years old, a few of my friends and I went to a program. We heard that they had KFC there and there was a bunch of girls that hung out, and we figured that's enough. It literally changed our lives. That program was created and run by the United Achievers. Annie Bino got the key to the city last week. So thank you, Annie. 7 years later, I'm trying to get a job. I'm about 21 years old. I'm a black guy trying to figure things out, looking for a gig. My first job was given to me by Joyce Temple Smith. She's over there. She's was multi-level service at the time, and she just saw me and she said, "You still look like you're 15. That's not what you said, but I'm gonna take it anyways. And finally, my wife just got here. My son was playing volleyball all day. My brother's with me and my kids. And my mom couldn't make it because she's with her grandchildren in Guelph. But I really want to say thank you to her, because as many of you that moved to Brampton in the late 80s, early 90s, trying to raise your children in the crazy school system, trying to make sure that the folks that are here that didn't look like this in the early 90s were trying to chase down your kids, but they made it, that's me. So thank you very much.
All right, we'll have to go after him. Simply just want to say thank you to everybody who got me here. Jabari, who is one of the reasons why I am here today, helped me to be nominated and be part of this. I got a couple of people in the audience as well. My right-hand man, Coach Steve, over there as well, and his wife. My wife, Jackie, who never says no to anything I ask her to do. Son, Kevin Jr., KJ, my brother, who just came in from Jamaica. Wayne, who runs Phase 1 basketball. Thank you guys for supporting me for here. As the gentleman who introduced me, coaching was everything. I wouldn't have graduated from high school. I wouldn't have gone into college.
I wouldn't have done anything if it wasn't for sports. Football in general helped me to grow the man I am today and who I am today. A lot of friendships. Yeah, clap that up, yeah. Sports is a great avenue for the Black youth. We need each other, we need to support each other, and I'm honored to be receiving this award and to help the future of our Black youth in Brampton. So thank you guys so much for having
me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Arthur. I'm receiving this award on behalf of Dr. Matthew Weeks. Just quickly, in this Black History Month, it's great to see both generations here, both the young folks and the younger folks in the room. Really great. When I think of empowerment, I think of something related to philanthropy. And in life, no one will ever remember you for the amount of money that you made, the houses that you have. But when we talk about empowerment, it's about how do you help other people. So if I will leave you with one thing today, when you think about giving in this month of love, just think about how can I help someone else? What do I want to be remembered for? People remember you not for what you did, but how you made people feel and what you gave back. Great seeing everyone.
Good evening. I want to thank the City of Brampton and Gwen Chapman for honoring me with this award. When I decided to become an actor back in the late 1970s, yes, I'm that old, there weren't too many actors who looked like me. As a matter of fact, I was told to my face that producers didn't want to use blacks. And I had to fight to make my mark in an industry that barred me. I formed a committee that pressured the industry to use more visible minorities. I was blacklisted for 2 years for being a troublemaker. But sometimes you have to make good trouble. Since then, my film company has traveled all around the world. We filmed in Africa, we filmed in the United States, we filmed all over, concentrating on stories from the African diaspora. And I'm very proud that God has allowed me to tell these stories so we can enlighten people of our rich and powerful history. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, everyone, and congratulations. Thank you, Ms. Gwen Chapman, for making this happen. Tiny island in the Caribbean, arrived in Canada via the U.S. with many lofty ambitions, you can say, with interest in labor law. Andre attended Osgood Hall Law School, from which he graduated in 1988. After he finished law school, Andre worked as an assistant Crown attorney and later became a criminal lawyer. He practiced criminal law for 9 years, and in 2002 became a judge in the Ontario Court of Justice. In 2010, Andre was awarded a Doctor of Philosophy degree in law. At that time, he was the only judge out of, some 280 judges in the Ontario Court of Law to receive a PhD in law. From the beginning, Andre has been involved with several community initiatives, including co-founding Rescue Youth International. That's a Brampton-based group that offers help for youth in crisis. Andre's journey, filled with trials, tribulations, degrees, recognitions, and awards, has led him to prominence, not just within the Black and Caribbean communities in the GTA, but in all of Canada. And we thank him for a life of service and for joining us here today to share his stories. And please join me in welcoming Justice Dr. Irving Andre to the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be here. This is a time and a place, or there is a time and a place for every season. And tonight is a time to rejoice and be happy, because there's much to be happy about. Look at around you. There are people for every walk of life, every age group, some 70, some 80, looking at 10, some under 10. My grandson wanted to be here. He's 1 year and 1 month. So I learned to speak baby talk because of his age. So I was talking to him and he said, I heard you're speaking tonight. I said, yes. So he said, what is the dress code? I said, there's none. He asked me, is diapers allowed? I told him, as long as you cover it, it's okay. He asked me, if there is, what is the menu tonight? I tell him, for you, it's bottle and milk. He asked me, what is the menu for you? I told him it's called JCRPP. He asked me, what is that? I said, well, it's jerk chicken, rice and peas. He asked me, what is the other P for? I told him, for plantains fried. And then he said he'll take a pass, he will listen by Instagram. He was not here. Speaking of food, I wanted to give a round of applause to the chef Kendra who prepared the food today. I know her well because she's a Dominican like I am. So we had a conversation. He said, Doc, I'm afraid the food might not be enough. There's too many people here. I tell her, well, I have good and bad news for you. Half of the people here tonight are fasting. They're not going to touch any of the food. I told her the bad news is that the other half will eat very fast because they'll be looking for seconds. I told her, but in any event, if you run away, I do have 5 loaves and 2 fishes in my backpack. So it's all good, Chef Kendra, don't worry. But tonight I will focus on the themes of perseverance, reliance, and historical memory. Now in recent times, and we have to speak truth to power, we have been besieged with the grim reality that despite so many gains we can be proud of, and we'll talk about that, our struggles as Black people continue with no sign of ending. A few weeks ago, the CBC's W5, that's the name of it? I think so, spoke about young Black boys being recruited in Brampton and elsewhere to travel to Thunder Bay and elsewhere to sell drugs for unscrupulous persons. Only last week we read about a young Black lawyer, female for God's sakes, who was allegedly assaulted, arrested and handcuffed in a courthouse in Oshawa. We also read about young inmates at a youth facility in Brampton, disproportionately Black, being routinely stripped naked in blatant violation of a court order, prohibiting that kind of violation of the human rights of those held in youth custody. Here is the question many of our young people must ask themselves before accepting an offer for a free trip to a place they never heard of. What does it profit me if I gain a fistful of dollars, social media fame, a platinum chain long enough to tie a cow, diamond earrings, a Gucci belt and sneakers, but I lose my soul, my freedom, and God forbid, my life? It is not as if, as the ex-slave Booker T. Washington chronicles in his autobiography, Up From Slavery, that he had to learn to read and write by candlelight. It is not as if our young people had to do, as an ex-slave did in an 1854 Ontario case, go to court, thanks to his father, for the right to attend a school reserved for white children. It is not as if our young people, as another Black parent did in an 1871 case in St. Catharines, stand to hear a judge deny admission to a Black school in a local school because his admission, quote, would be attended with evil consequences from a sanitary point of view. It is not as if you had to face, as in 1969, when 7 West Indian students in Montreal launched a protest at the Sir George Williams University, now Concordia, because a white professor was giving them failing grades in a course, thereby aborting their chances of qualifying to go to medical school. It is not as if, after a fire broke out, after the local police fired tear gas on the 9th floor of the university's computer center, trapping many of the protesters, you had to face an angry mob of Montrealers yelling, "Let the end burn." It is not as if you were one of the West Indian students who were arrested, charged and fined, or one of those who were deported and sent back to the islands. Rosie Douglas was sentenced to 2 years less a day in jail. Some of those arrested later qualified as medical doctors. One Jamaican became a U.S. ambassador. One Barbadian called Ann Coles was pardoned and appointed a senator in the early 1970s. Rosie Douglas was deported in 1976. When he came back to Canada in handcuffs, or when he left, he swore he would return to Canada as a prime minister. In 2000, that is exactly what he did. Now, help me. What do they say about the stone that the builder refused? What do they say about success being the best revenge? Are you telling me that in 2026, more than 55 years after this incident, young black boys and young black girls, armed by the history of struggle and the fight to get an education in the past, are not hurdling over every obstacle to gain admission to institutions of higher learning in Canada? Our young people must learn that instant gratification is the first cousin of instant incarceration. They must learn that the heights of great men and women were not attained by sudden flight, by those who were toiling deep through the night. They must learn that education is the only possession no one can take away from them. They must also learn that nothing worthwhile in life comes easy. That the journey to success is fraught with obstacles and boulders. Sometimes in the form of a patronizing teacher who tells you that you cannot be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an accountant, a teacher, or a computer analyst. As late as 2025, a report by the Ontario Human Rights Commission subtitled Dreams Beyond Delayed Report concluded that disproportionate suspensions, poor black representation among staff, and repeated racist incidents have eroded black students' well-being and success for years. So this is the lens through which we must listen to media reports about black boys recruited to commit crime or dropping out of school. We have a responsibility to make them know that Psalms 23 says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." We have the responsibility to arm them so that they will have more protection than have peace tucked in a waistband or in a knapsack. Or the protection gleaned from Isaiah, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." Or the line from the late superstar Peter Tosh, "Jah is my light and my hope, so whom shall I fear?" Or the observation from the brilliant late Trinidadian Prime Minister Dr. Eric Williams, "Success is the best revenge." Our young people should be made to believe that betraying the legacy of struggle, resilience, and resistance of the ancestors is the worst type of self-harming behavior they can engage in. They should fear betraying the hardship their parents endured to give them the opportunities that their parents did not have or could not take advantage of. Working 2, sometimes 3 jobs to make ends meet. Sacrificing the chance to go to school because they had to put food on the table for their partner and children. Dealing in silence with the knowledge that blacks were the last to be hired, but first to be fired. Seeing white co-workers who they have trained promoted over there. Sacrificing their own needs to give their children a fighting chance to blaze a trail at school. I cannot speak for you, but knowledge of my family history has been the most liberating and energizing influence in my life. My father won a special scholarship in his 30s to attend the Dominica Grammar School. He was one of 2 top students in the graduating class, but he was an outside child. That is the balance, an illegitimate child. The small island at the time, university was regarded as beyond the scope of his ambition. His father had the financial means to send him to study overseas, but he was an outside child. Instead, at 18, he went to Curacao to work in an oil refinery during World War II. He bought hundreds of books, which he pored over virtually every evening. The story of my father's life has made me strong. I found out about it not from him, but from a few tongue elders. During the mid-1970s, after I learned much of his history, I learned to heed the words of someone called Robert Nesta Marley. Don't forget your history, know your destiny. In the abundance of water, the fool is good. We must ensure that our youth are not thirsty in the abundance of institutions of learning and self-advancement, or in the abundance of groups like the United Achievers Club, Rescue, Knights Table, and others. Can you imagine when we saw members of the United Achievers Club come up, along with the Kiwanis Club, and persons like Marjorie Taylor and Lucinda Slowly and Ken Rose, they were here this evening on the stage. Now hear this. 480 scholarships, or more than $470,000 to enable racialized students to attend college and university. They have built an 11-story, 151-unit and 26 townhouses, 75% rent get to income for over 35 years. Can you imagine that for over 20 years, Rescue Abigail Hamilton was there, has counseled and mentored, along with others, hundreds of at-risk students in many of Brampton's secondary schools? Can you imagine that the nice table led by Annie Vine, who is hiding somewhere to my right, who just last week was honored with the key to the city, has spearheaded the distribution of over 4 million meals annually to persons battling food security in our region? Can you grasp that other groups like the Peter Women of Color or the Congress of Black Women? The Congress of Black Women since 1989 has given over 150 scholarships, 5 scholarships to single mothers returning to university. The Black population has nourished the institutions of learning right here in Brampton. Now it is no wonder that Tina, some of you may know Tina Spiller, she sang a song years ago. In one of the songs she says that we don't need another hero or heroine. Well, we don't, because we have all of them in Brampton, for God's sakes, and many of them are here this evening. We need to make sure that our youth are not thirsty in the abundance of colleges in our city. The soon-to-be open medical school in Brampton, University of Toronto, TMU, York University, all of which daily challenge our youth to invest in their own lives and in their future. I believe that excellence does not live in some gated community protected from the masses by security guards. It lives in you, to borrow a line from the Lion King. It lives in us, whether in the fields of medicine, education, politics, sports, law, unions, or construction. Media, electronics, and healthcare, the Black community has a cherished history of excellence.
Amen.
I will not commit the unpardonable sin of calling names of those who have excelled and failing to mention others who have made significant contribution in those fields. But can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you're a little tired, what would happen to our healthcare system if, God forbid, Black and brown PSWs, RPNs, RNs, doctors, and other healthcare providers decided to stay home for 3 days? Can you imagine? We must help our children, the generation after us, to find the key to that vault within themselves, where the code of excellence is waiting to with bated breath to be discovered. We must help them discover, at least those who have not, many of them have, that their parents are not the enemy, rather they are or should be the wind beneath their wings. We must ensure that they do not live to lament while languishing in an institution, being driven crazy by the clanging of gates, being triple bound. In the word of Shakespeare's King Richard II, I wasted time, and now time does waste me. We must make them, in the words of an old English poem, that they do not waste their sweetness or their talents on the desert air, or allow their talents to be consumed by the fires of self-destruction. But let us not wallow in self-pity, since there are signs that despite sensationalized media stories, there is an awakening among our young people. Those who were either born here or grew up here, that, in the words of an Antiguan Calypsonian called King Shortshirt, I don't know, there's no Antigans here, or are they? Oh, sorry. Where he sang, quote, I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where we come from. We see them in the law schools, we see them in medical schools, we see them in universities, real estate agencies, in our hospitals, school boards, in municipal politics, provincial politics, in police forces. You see them in the church singing, there is power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of their ancestors. We must hear them singing, we shall not be moved, just like a tree standing by the river, we shall not be moved. Most of all, we want to hear them singing the lines of the late superstar Jimmy Cliff. Now I see the light, yes I see the light, shining bright, it's all right. Now ladies and gentlemen, the statistics have shown that more of our young people are indeed seeing that light. Indeed, a recent report by a scholar called Karen Robson, a doctoral student at McMaster University, noted of black students that, quote, a lot of them are getting to university in spite of the system, not necessarily because of it. There is some evidence to back her up. Enrollment in the top 3 Toronto universities match the percentage of black people in the GTA. For example, at York University, 9.57% of students identify themselves as black or African, while 8% of the GTA's population self-identify as black. The figure at U of T is 8% and 7% at the Toronto Metropolitan University. Universities have come to realize that they have a moral obligation to try to right the wrongs of systemic discrimination, not as a form of charity, but as an act of conscience and conviction. Hence, the U of T has a Black Student Application Program and a Black Access to Educational Excellence initiative, with the other 2 universities having similar programs. Sheridan College has a bursary program available to students who self-identify as black and demonstrate financial need. In 2020, the U of T admitted 24 black students into its medical program. Let me make one thing clear. It is important to note that these standards are not being lowered to accommodate black students in our top universities. Indeed, years ago, a Yale University professor and later United States Supreme Court jurist stated that black students are being set up to fail by being admitted into those academic institutions. In other words, they are not smart enough to handle the workload, but the very opposite is true. It is some of these very institutions who are failing the students, not the other way around. They have done so historically by downplaying the struggles, the obstacles, the racism, and the number of rivers that so many racialized students have had to cross to attend these universities. Let me remind you, however, not that you need any reminding, that getting your degree and a good job, a nice car, and a house do not insulate you from the effects of racism. Recently, 45,000 past and current black federal civil students launched a class action lawsuit seeking compensation for the systematic racism they endured in the federal workplace. A black medical doctor and poet, Dr. Chika Uriwa, recently wrote a book, Unlike the Rest, detailing how she suffered from, quote-unquote, the imposter syndrome, being made to feel that she cheated to get to the University of Toronto Medical School, or mistaken for the person who cleaned the floor in the ward. In a recent criminal case out west, not here, a judge decided that he would place no weight on the expert evidence of a Nigerian-born gynecologist because he rolled his R's and spoke with an accent. However, the judge had no problem embracing the testimony of a white expert from Eastern Europe who committed all the language sins that he accused the Nigerian doctor of. I will not even talk about the disparities in income between racialized and non-racialized workers in some professions. This, ladies and gentlemen, seems to be the cross that we have to carry and the fight we must wage. It is no ordinary fight. It is one as noted in Ephesians, not against flesh and blood, but against wannabe rulers, authorities, dark forces that seek to reverse the gains of the past. It is a fight we shall win. And to refer to Bob Marley once again, because we are confident in the victory. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end, just as I started, with some reference to my grandson, Leon. He's probably listening on Instagram, if he's still awake, I don't know. You can pay more attention, perhaps, to the thought of what you missed in terms of the jerk chicken and festival. You can smack your lips while you cool on the fire in the smudged cot's bonnet or wash it down with the liquid in your bottle. But that by the time you are 3 years old, I will ensure that you will be reciting your ABC starting from the letter Z to the letter A. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Justice Dr. Irving Andre, thank you for your words, your work, and also paving the way forward. It's now my pleasure to welcome the Crawford Adventist Academy Choir to the stage. For a powerful performance. The Crawford Adventist Academy Choir is one of the premier performance groups of their high school music department. The music groups here, they take pride in empowering students that identify as Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC, with the tools to develop their musical skills, enhance academics, and build relationships with their peers and the greater community. The choir is honored to have performed at various events, including the Pan American Sports Organization General Assembly, the annual Canadian Black Caucus Inspiring Youth in Politics, the Afro Global TV Excellence Awards, and Queen's Park, and at the Church of Canada. Please welcome to the stage the Crawford Adventist Academy Choir.
the other side. Young people! Young people! Andre, get in here! All city staff and all you fine men, I'll ask the elders to come up, take your time and be a part of this. This is history! And you are history makers! Put your hands together again! that you, our children, our young people, are going to succeed and to live out your God-given purpose. And we will do whatever it takes to make sure our children and your people achieve their purpose. Love you all. Thank you so very much. Give them another round of applause. The dynamic spirit that we have as African people. Let's start to build by uniting, forgiving, and loving each other. Love you all. Make sure you stay in touch with us. And for those who got here, the first 100, you have your tickets. There's a treat waiting for you outside. Let's hug each other before we leave. Thank you so very much.
So yeah, it was very interesting. I enjoy every aspect about it.
Yes.
I'm extremely proud because the keynote speaker is from Dominica as well as I am. We went to the same high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm excited to be part of it.
Yes.
And equally, I'm happy that I could have my children be here.
Oh, wonderful.
To have that experience as well.
Of it, yes.
Right. The part of what the keynote speaker spoke about, especially as it refers to our kids having challenges at school to pursue their education, to pursue their cause. I experienced as well. I had to go to school after the fight for her. Told her that she couldn't. She was smart enough to attain a university education, and she actually graduated with honors.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She graduated with honors.
Yeah, and then
after you fought for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's excellent.
And to prove to the masses that you know what, a child can achieve whatever they put their minds to do, and as long as they have the right support system.
Right.
And so she graduated as a top nurse.
Wow.
Right, there's the same teachers who said that she would not do well at university. They wanted to send her to hairdressing, this kind of stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, we went and we fought for her, and today she's a nurse, and she's one of the body nurses in the facility. Everybody's proud of her.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really good. Thank you so much. What's your first name?
My first name is Herbert. Last name is Shaw.
Can you big up your daughter?
Yeah, Leah Shaw. Leah Shaw.
Big up yourself.
Big up.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes, wonderful. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's my daughter I was telling you about. That's Princess. Nurse, sorry. Nurse Aaron.
All right.
Victoria Aaron Shaw.
Big up yourself, my dear. You know, you have a wonderful father that stands beside you, that fought for you. So, you know, continue to do greater work in the industry that you're in. Yes. Support.
To support and fight for children.
Yes.
Success, because it's vicious. Racial discrimination
is real.
It's real. And it's a system that they try to undermine everything that positive that we try to do.
Yes.
Fight for excellence is a struggle, but we have to keep fighting.
Yes.
And particularly in that system, when we show strong support for our kids, then everything is back, you know?
Yes.
We have to fight. Because we have to show up to support our children.
Important.
A lot of kids have been marginalized because, you know, the school system, parents are show up. Most times they work in 2 and 3 jobs, really, that's what they said.
Yes.
But when you're not present, or the lack of presence rather, allow our kids to fall in the cracks.
Right.
Okay, so.
And they become so discouraged. You know, they don't have that will to go, to carry on, even if they at the beginning have that drive, but just what they go through and not having parents like you to stand beside them, it's not worth it, you know? So sometimes some of them really go through the crack, as you say.
Absolutely.
But she is one of them that has not. And we are so happy, that you are able to stand beside Daddy and knowing that you have achieved and you have made him proud. Yes.
And one last thing.
Yes.
Fathers have to stand up. In our black community,
yes.
Fathers have been MIA, missing in action for whatever reason, whether it's systemic or just excuses.
No, sometimes they're the ones out there working and they're, to find that time, they may say, oh, I have to make sure I have food on the table for my, while some, how it goes. They fall through the crack when they were growing up too. So, it continues in that cycle, but we have to break the cycle. We have to stand up.
Break the cycle. You know what? I'm so thrilled that you mentioned that, or you made that quote, because I want to show myself that in my generation, in order to impact in a positive way my next generation.
Yes.
And we talked about that. It's called standing in the gap.
Yes.
So I realized that I had to stand in the gap.
Yes.
To bridge my previous generation and the next generation. Or the so that the ills that were done doesn't carry to the next generation.
Right.
Standing in the gap, it calls for great mental fortitude.
Yes.
But it's a huge sacrifice.
Yes.
And sacrifice always costs the person making that sacrifice.
Yes.
I went to school. I studied nuclear medicine.
Wow.
I gave that up.
Yes.
My dream, my aspirations, huge payoff.
Yes.
It cost me a lot of money. I spent about 10 years, 4 degrees, and I had to forgo that to come back here because
you have to make sure they get
my kids.
Yes.
And had I not done that, she would tell you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes she said, Daddy, you know what? I'm so grateful that you came back because had you not come back, I did not know I could where I would have been.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So I just want to share that. It's not easy, but it always requires a great sacrifice. Somebody has to make that sacrifice.
Yes.
I want to quote from a biblical perspective.
Yes.
I would say, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. One Son, His only, that the world might be saved.
Amen.
So, in standing in the gap and bridging 2 generations, you have a lot of support. That there are a lot of stuff you have to bear the burdens of the past and the future.
Yes.
So for me, that's what I did, and
congrats.
The sacrifice I made.
Thank you for making it.
I'm still making. There's my son here.
Yes.
He's an A student now.
All right.
He's an A student.
Amen.
I'll tell you something also.
Yes.
When one thing I've said is, and I've always told them, I've always said that the government don't give me money to support them.
Yes.
They shouldn't have to come into my home to dictate how I discipline my children.
Yes.
Because what is true is that when I fail as a father to do the job that God gave me, the responsibility, when they go out there, the police officers don't speak to them. The only language you know is a gun and a bullet.
Wow.
For black kids. So we as fathers and we as parents, black parents, have to do what our great did for us. And I quote, to spare the rod is to spoil that child.
Yes. Correction.
We want excellence.
You have to correct.
We have to correct.
Yes.
To build discipline, we have to discipline.
Yes.
And discipline creates great discipleship.
Yes.
So if we want them to follow into the path of excellence, they have to build a lifeline of integrity and strong moral character.
Yes.
And it requires us as parents, us as fathers, to push that agenda forward.
Yes.
And to hold ourselves accountable. That responsibility might be built in them as we form character, strong moral character, integrity. Those are the integral aspect of the innate aspect that we need to be successful as a black community. Our parents have to be the ones pushing that agenda and holding our kids accountable.
Yes.
Not the police.
Right.
Because my mom always says that charity begins at home.
Yes.
There's a saying that goes, if you cannot dance, you have to learn how to
dance
at
a yard before you dance abroad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Keep up the good work.
So that's the last one, Nathan.
Yes. And in cute, you see?
and that's my wife.
Come, wifey. Thank you so much.
That's the backbone of our family.
Yes.
Not me, but that's the backbone.
I tell you now.
I'm the disciplinarian, but she's the backbone.
Yes, mothers are always the backbone. Yes, yeah. I know. I had my mother, father, but my mother, but it's good when you find fathers that shows the interest in the children in all aspects. It makes a big difference. It makes your life easier too, mommy. Yes. So continue to do the good work. You know, God appreciates mothers and fathers like you, holding up our children, because they too are going to come and take the role that you, yes. So if we don't instill certain values in them, they won't have it to instill in the next generation coming after them. So I really appreciate it. Your husband, it's like God says, talk to that gentleman. I wanted to get the gift that they said, but God says, stop and talk to that gentleman, and it was worth it.
My daughter, she went to school. She always wanted to be a nurse.
Yes.
And the teachers, the counselors, everybody said, people like you are good with hair. Yeah.
Wow.
And we had to go to that school and say no. She will be a nurse, and today she's one of the best RN nurses in Brampton.
Look at that. He told me. Look at that. Yes.
This is Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
My daughter.
Greetings.
That's a jacket.
Yes.
They're going to Red Lobster.
Yeah, so as we wrap it up, what's your final word to fathers, to black community, to the black community? What's your final word?
A missing father is the missing heart in the family structure. It's like a house without a foundation. It's like a house without a pillar. And God has put fathers into homes for a reason. If we notice, statistically, it's more predominant amongst our blacks. We need to revisit the past.
Olden time,
Old time, in the beginning. The fathers were fathers. And you don't have to have a whole bunch of money.
No.
But your presence speaks volumes. Because it bridges the past to the future.
Right.
Okay? And just your presence here is a gift to your family.
Amen.
And to your kids moving forward. Okay? It creates vision, hope for the children. So your strength as a dad is not necessarily in the dollar that you can give as a child support.
Yes. More than that.
It's more than that. It's about time spent. It's about your prayers. It's about your spiritual and the moral attributes that you can contribute to their lives.
Yes.
Finances come later.
Yes.
Because you can train up that child to be a doctor.
Yes, definitely.
You don't have to be a doctor yourself.
Right.
But whatever you instill into that kid becomes the future for tomorrow, and they can look back and say, you know what, my parents, my mother, my father.
Like the gentleman tonight, Honourable Irving. Yes.
So it was relatable to me because, like I said, we originate from similar roots.
Yes.
He's Dominican, I'm Dominican.
Yes.
I can identify from, where he came from, because his story is like my story.
Yes.
The people he referenced, like Rosie Douglas, I knew them personally.
Wow.
I myself, I'm sure. My uncle was the president of Dominica, the same place.
Wow.
So, like I tell my children, They come from rich family.
Yes.
Your roots are rich.
Yes.
When my daughter, for example, when she started nursing, and she's Jamaican, I'm Dominican. So all along, all the kids in my house saying that they're Jamaican. Until my daughter, when she became a nurse, and she's interacting with young nurses, heading from different aspects of this world, and then somebody said, "Hey, what's your name?" Shaw. I know a Shaw. And she's like, "Really?" So she traces back her roots to Dominica, to the young lady called them. I said, "Hey, I got a Shaw here," and it says, "I knew such and such." And she comes, Daddy's always like, Daddy, guess what? From now on, I'm going to be a Dominica. I said, "But why?" She said, "Because I'm a Shaw." I say, "Okay, I've been telling you that." Said, and my granduncle was the president. So I say, "Okay." So you have big shoes.
You have to know where you're coming from.
You have to know your history.
Yes, you have to know. So thank you very much. And your first name is?
Herbert Arshaw.
All right. Thank you so much. So let me put myself in the camera. Yes, so wonderful interview with Mr. Shaw. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, so take care and all the best to your family. Yes. Take care.
I'm not invited, guys. I'm not
What a night.